getting comfortable breastfeeding, whether or not it's like position wise or how often do I have to do it? This baby's feeding so much, how do I know if they're getting enough? And it's a full-time job, especially the first 2 weeks. So I love breastfeeding pillows that build a shelf. My favorite one is my Breast Friend, and it's because it clips and it builds a shelf and it brings the baby to the table. You can turn the pillow to the side and feed in the football hole, or use it to, feed the baby in front of you in the normal like cradle position. But I think getting comfortable, because it's so new, is the biggest challenge, and finding a good kind of schedule. We go from being very independent women to like our life changes overnight, and next thing you know, we're up all the time taking care of this baby. We don't have an instruction manual. So the ultimate goal is to stick to that schedule of feeding 8 times a day. And it's really going to be like that for a while. Just realizing that the feeds in the beginning are going to take a long time. Once the baby hits about 3 months old, they could drain that breast in 3 minutes. So the very beginning, you're going to be nursing 9 hours a day. By the time the baby's 3 months old, you'll be nursing about 45 minutes every 24 hours. So pretend you're starting a new job, get yourself psyched up for it, get what you need, get organized. And the one thing I would recommend is that breastfeeding pillow, and realize, okay, this is going to be tough in the beginning, but I'm going to get through it and I'm going to make it to the point where it's super easy, because it will be super easy over time. There's a lot of misinformation in terms of the evidence, but now, believe it or not, it's the formula companies that allow us to study breast milk and how it changes and what's in it, what nutrition. The main purpose of breast milk in terms of helping your baby with their compromised immune system, because it does take a while for an immune system to fully get developed and babies are very vulnerable, are the antibodies. So we're exposed to things through our mucosae, and they've been discussing a lot with COVID and wearing masks and not touching your face. And it's the same it's always been that way. So 1 drop of breast milk has 1 million living white blood cells. So those white blood cells coat the baby's mucosae to repel bacteria. So that's one benefit. Then the antibodies. So the antibodies change based on what the mom's exposed to. So if the mom has antibodies, for every vaccine that she got when she was a kid, every cold, flu up until that moment, then every day it changes. Every time a mom goes to Target and touches the cart and gets exposed to a new cold or a new flu or, a new germ, she develops the antibodies and gives those to the baby. So in terms of the milk changing, the milk is changing every day with new antibodies to combat whatever is out there in the world. In terms of nutrition, the milk in the very beginning, the colostrum, is just like a super highly concentrated milk, because the baby doesn't need a lot of volume in the beginning, but it's the same. It's higher in protein, higher in antioxidants, things like that. But in terms of the nutrition, studying breast milk, the DHA appears to be the same throughout the whole course of lactation. We're just like cows. I mean, cow's milk, if a cow has a baby and they're on a dairy farm and they milk them, they can milk them and they can lactate till the day they die. The milk doesn't necessarily change in terms of nutrition. It can change in flavor based on what the cow's eating, what we're eating. But generally, the nutrition and the antibodies are always there as long as you're nursing. It doesn't reach a point where it's like at 6 months, the breast milk isn't as good, things like that. It changes based on the age of the baby. and based on the time of the day. So, for example, in the morning, our milk is more watered down because the baby wakes up more thirsty. At the end of the day, the milk is fattier and it's designed to get the baby to sleep longer. So it can change, but it's all specifically designed to change at the right time under the right circumstance.